of my friends say, girl, you better take care, 'cause that man is trouble, you best beware. And though deep down I know I might be headed for teardrops, now that you got me started, I just can't stop. No, no. 'Cause I love you, baby. I can't let you go, baby. I gotta tell you that I won't. I've been looking for love so true. When I was down and out, along came you. Though you might be a liar and a cheat too, I just can't quit you now 'cause I love you. Yes, I do. I can't let you go, baby. I can't let you go, baby. 'Cause I love you, I love you, I love you. No, no, no. Now that you got me started, I just can't stop. No, no. 'Cause I love you, baby. I can't let you go, baby. I gotta tell you that I won't. I've been looking for love so true. When I was down and out, along came you. Though you might be a liar and a cheat too, I just can't quit you now 'cause I love you. Yes, I do. I can't let you go, baby. I can't let you go, baby. 'Cause I love you, I love you, I love you. No, no, no. I started, I just can't stop. No, no. 'Cause I love you, baby. I can't let you go, baby. I gotta tell you that I've been looking for love so true. When I was down and out, along came you. Though you might be a liar and a cheat too, I just can't quit you now 'cause I love you. Yes, I do. I can't let you go, baby. I can't let you go, baby.
There we go. Hey everybody, hope you guys are all doing well. Let me turn down some stuff as far as my headphones are concerned. Hope you guys all had a good weekend. It seems like most of you guys did. Let me move some stuff over there. There we go. Okay. And hey, Bideford, the only reason my weekend wasn't good is I didn't have a client to purchase a home. There you go. I know the housing market has definitely been slower, I think, over the past maybe a few months here or so, but I don't know. You definitely know better than me on that one. But I'm glad the majority of you guys had a good weekend here. I spent my weekend kind of nerding out on a whole bunch of different technicals that I haven't really been looking at for the past 2 or 3 months, and now they're starting to get more in focus here. And we'll take a little bit of a look at that. And hey, Bideford, as far as my weekend, yeah, I pretty much just nerded out on charts for a while. I tried to find a couple editors. I focused on one that would look like he was going to be good, but this morning he couldn't even get any of the work done, and so I think he was faking it, so, like, his talent, so I'm just going to, well, he's fired already. I already told him he's fired. I don't give many chances out. But, so he was fired today. I had to rush to get that thing done this morning. But what did I do? I watched a few movies on the TV this weekend with my sister. We made popcorn and stuff like that. We gave Loki a bath. I bought Loki a big old outdoor pool so he can take a bath in it. He doesn't like taking baths in bathtubs. So I got him a big old doggy pool that cost like $100 or so, and just filled all the way up with water. It took about, I don't know, an hour. So not that much water, right? Halfway filled. Shampooed him up, and he's all smelling really good right now. So, errands. Oh, I got a, what else did I do? Oh, yeah. So you guys know my car's broken down and I can't get it. I have an appointment with the mechanic on the 2nd of June. But it's definitely a while away. So all of Sunday I Ubered all around downtown Tacoma, all around it. Cost me like $30 to get to downtown. Like $80 for the haircut. Another $15 to go to the grocery store. Spent like $200 on groceries. Some guy luckily picked me up in a minivan and then drove me all the way back home. I spent like $300 to $400 in Uber just this weekend. Freaking insane. But it definitely was. Plus the tips. Tips get kind of expensive with Uber because you always want to help them out. Because I used to be an Uber driver back in the day when I was in college. But yeah, it was definitely a fun weekend though. I did a lot of stuff. Anything else? No. I bought some stuff for like a high quality pasta, basically. Some really fancy noodles and stuff like that. Some base sauce so I can make a homemade sauce. For not tonight, I'm too busy, but probably tomorrow or something like that. So just a whole bunch of errands. I didn't go to my P.O. box, and I probably should have done that, but that's for another time. And hey, if there's any chances we come up to 30K before a plunge, at this point it's seeming unlikely, but we have an opportunity if the NASDAQ tries to pop us back up a little bit. What was interesting today as far as what I was looking at is the NASDAQ did fine today. Bitcoin did not. So it seems like there's some market forces trying to attack Bitcoin that aren't necessarily attacking NASDAQ, the NASDAQ, if you know what I'm saying. So, and we'll talk about those in detail here. This is part of the process of me nerding out over the weekend. I can pretty much give you technicals that nobody else is talking about. And I watched a few other YouTubers this week to kind of see what their technicals said. Not one of them had this method because everybody kind of had their own ideas of why we were here. And, we've talked about some Fibonacci levels, some support levels, some Ganfeng levels, of course. But I went really in depth to find all the important Ganfeng levels that we actually need to be paying attention to for the next 2 weeks, even 2 months from now. And we'll talk about those. And then as far as Bitcoin here, probably best to just not go here. We broke out. We got rejected. If you guys watched the morning video, I was talking about how before we can enjoy the breakout, if we want to enjoy the breakout, we needed to break this cycle of lower highs. So lower high, lower high, lower high. This was even a lower high than that. This was a lower high than that. We're not breaking this lower high, so we're kind of trapped in this channel with one exception where we bounced up there. Definitely having some issues with Bitcoin. So far, though, if I was looking at a level of support to kind of use as a, this is where we might start taking more of a plunge. It would be this white line on the bottom of your screen, about 28,578. As far as just going back up to 30,000, yes, we can go back up to $30,000. It would probably have to happen tomorrow or the day after that, though. I was surprised to see this big old short. If we go over here to the 15-minute chart, happened pretty darn fast. Somebody just went and dumped a whole bunch of Bitcoin onto the market. And you can see we're trying to get back above that 20 moving average in the 15-minute chart. Usually when we close above that, it's usually a good buying opportunity. Like we did, it has to be a big dip right here. Big dip, closed above it, and you saw we had some good profits, right? Well, in this circumstance, it's a similar size dip, but not nearly as big. Close. So we may have an opportunity to get back up here, but that might only be like another $1,000 more, unless we can really get a surge out of this. But it seems like whenever we get up to these levels, somebody just is trying to take us down each and every time, and that goes into something we've been talking about over the past few weeks, those Ganfan levels. Excuse me. And hey, Monica, on any meaningful ready for small profit just in high ups of buying at lower levels, do you will still accumulate? What do you mean? On any meaningful, really, for a small profit, just in hopes of buying at lower? I'm still accumulating every single day. I bought crypto today. I bought crypto yesterday. Even as we're still doing nothing here for the past few days, I'm still buying crypto. Now, these are like, I probably spent $1,000 on crypto today, $1,000 yesterday, a few days ago, $500. Patiently waiting. These are things I'm going to be holding for a long term. It's just my way of hedging against the market. I still think we're going down to the 200 weekly moving average. But just in case for whatever reason we didn't go down that far, well then, I would have some skin in the game for the next time Bitcoin really ran up, if that makes sense. That's what I'm really hoping for. But I'm still buying every day. You guys don't have to put nearly as much money as I am, though. You guys would be happy with like $10 to $50 every day in crypto. $10 is still enough. So by the time all of this kind of carnage is over, this bear market's over, and you have to wait a year or so for the next all-time highs and crazy rallies for altcoins, yada yada yada, you're going to be making a lot of money, a lot of profit off of those. So you don't have to buy like a lot. You just have to have skin in the game. Let's see. Hey, bro, signs, give him edibles, easy to watch. About an hour later, he has these little chew things like the CBD things, and that mellows him out a lot. But yesterday he just wanted to play, and he has so much energy. So the neighbors were outside. Like two of my neighbors were outside on both sides of the house. After he was done with the bath, he just booked it to say hi to every single neighbor, shake in front of them. They all, thankfully, they're really nice neighbors. They all laughed at it, but sprinkle, shake, sprint over the next neighbor, shake, and it just circles and circles because I live in a cul-de-sac, so just going freaking insane over there. And hey, Pinto, $80 for a haircut. Ouch. It's like $65, I think it is, and I give her like a $15 tip every week. I only get a haircut every 2 or 3 weeks. It's business expense, so I get the luxury of doing that now. But yeah, the prices in downtown areas for haircuts are going up. Never in my life did I think I was going to be spending over like $60 for a haircut. Never. But the lady does my hair the way I like it. She's nice. She does it's not just a haircut. It's like the shave, shampoo, steamed towels, massage on your shoulders. It's a whole shebang. It's really, really nice. But yeah, it's definitely not as cheap as it once was. I definitely grant you there. And hey, babyfish, Bomba Tink on the way. It looks like it right now. It looks like we're just getting in this squeeze zone right now. And of course, me being bearish, I think we're going to break down on the downside. But let's actually talk about this, guys. And hey, Chef, hope you guys are doing a good day. And hey, Michael, I got a haircut every couple months. My hair is kind of curly, you guys can see. If my hair gets too curly, here, let's go to Facebook real fast. It's a mellow day, guys. Well, what I'm about to talk about is a lot of in-depth technical analysis that'll just be very boring. So let's start off in a good mellow mood before that happens. Normally, I like to keep my hair short. Like this is me in Vegas. I look like a dumbass, but forget it. It's the Vegas pics you take. Loki, hunting, hiking, weddings. My hair is kind of curly right there. Let me see. Can I? I don't use Facebook enough. I really don't. How do you find photos? Oh, there it is. Back in high school, I was bald. I accidentally shaved my head off on accident. Where is my stuff? My too big of a suit right there. Me poking a deer. Oh, all right. Oh, no, this one. This is me in El Salvador when I was doing some humanitarian work. Hence, my idea is right on my thing because I'm a touristy type of guy. Oh, you can't even see that well there. Well, you can see it, my hair gets really, really curly, basically, and it gets too much to control. It gets like into like a fro, but then since it's not like a tightly knit hair, it like the fro kind of just wobbles back and forth. But yeah, it can be pretty rough. I normally don't look at my my photos from Facebook though. Fishing. This college. Oh, that is 2014. Holy crap, that's like 8 years ago. Yeah, I normally don't do much, guys. I normally just kind of go to parties and stuff like that and chill out with people. It's a pretty simple life. But yeah, I like to have my hair in a specific way. Keeps my life organized. If I don't have somewhat structured hair, my life goes crazy. And also, when my hair is cut like this, I don't really have to do much maintenance on it in the day. Because I usually do, like, I wash my face every day. Like it's a long process. Go into it another time. But what do you call... And hi, Byford. Did I see MRS today? Unreal? No, I did not see that one. I did not look at any stocks today. I was... Oh, I told you about the editor. I got an editor for all of one day. I gave him the stuff at the specified time. He didn't do the work. He says, "Oh my God, dude, I'm so sorry, I forgot." I'm like, "You're fired." So yeah, first day on the job, he got fired with no pay because he didn't do the work, obviously. And he was not happy about that. But I was like, "Dude, it was a weekly trial basis, and he just screwed it up on the first day." But I had no chance to look at any stocks. All I saw today was some CNBC stuff about the market. I did not look at anything else. But as far as what I want to show you guys next here, this is going to be kind of important to you guys to understand of what exactly I did here. So the chart I'm about to show you guys right now is Bitcoin's chart. And it has a number of Ganfan levels and Fibonacci levels on it, okay? Now, these are only Fibonacci retracement levels, and these are only Ganfan levels, okay? You guys know that when you guys put up a Ganfan on your TradingView charts, you have the ability to take away certain lines. So, for example, if I open up this chart over here, let's go to GAN. And let's go with this one, I guess. This is the most recent one. We broke down here. I have the ability on these charts, if I feel like they're too cluttered, to kind of start getting rid of stuff. For this instance, take away the 2-to-1, or which one is that, 8-to-1? Yeah, there you go. You see how the 8-to-1 kind of just leaves right there? I can take those on and off. And so what I've done on that chart is you're going to see everything kind of zoomed out at first. A lot of these lines are gone. They're still there, but I pretty much just hidden them because I don't want to see that many lines on a chart. It can be very frustrating. So you guys are going to see specific Ganfan levels of support and resistance that I think are relevant for Bitcoin over the next few days. Now, some of these levels go all the way back to 2014. That's where the Ganfans actually started. And some of them were just more recent as 2020, okay? So let's kind of take a quick peek here because I do think this is going to be important for you guys to see. So this is it right here. No rainbow colors. You see a bunch of lines. These lines are coming all the way back here from 2014, 2015, 2018, 2020. All those lines coming over here. And as far as the downward trend lines, we're looking at the lines coming down from the negative 45-degree angle of 2019, 2018 over here, and then 2020, okay? As far as all the breakdowns over here, if we had any Ganfan levels there, they'd be coming so far down that in order for the Bitcoin price to hit it, Bitcoin would have to come down to like in the single, like 5,000 or so. And that's not anything I see is realistically going to happen here, okay? So let's kind of zoom in here because I think we have few good opportunities. So as far as what you guys are seeing right now, this is why we've been kind of stuck. This is why I was nerding out over the weekend, because I was really having trouble. I looked at a whole bunch of YouTubers' videos, looked at a whole bunch of Twitter graphs to see if, like, what am I missing here? This is what everybody's missing right here, okay? We all know that, well, I don't know. Not many people use GAN levels. I'm a nerd for using it. But you can see we've been finding support over the last few weeks. Right at this moment in time, we have broken down below this GAN level right here. We held it all the way down here as well. So held it, support, finally breaking down. And now, just like before, we're running into this 2-to-1 GAN level right here. But that's the level we're having trouble with. So if I go over to the 15-minute chart right here, looks a little bit more choppy. Found support. We're having trouble with this level right here. It reminds me of what we saw, I want to say like a few weeks ago here. Let me see if I can find this specific GAN level. This one. That's right in my face. You see how we got kind of choppy? And then we hit the 2-to-1. Then once we hit the 2-to-1, all hell broke loose. So it's kind of reminding me a little bit about that. So getting choppy with it. And here's the big 2-to-1. As soon as we break down below this 2-to-1, I think that's where everything will really hit the fan, so to speak. So let me go back to the daily chart here. And so after we break down below this level, which I think we will, guys, as you guys know, see how we're consolidating kind of all of which we're around it. I would even say this 2-to-1 level as for support is much more important than this one right here. Oh, well, and for a few reasons, actually. First one, you see how choppy we've been? That's enough data to tell you this one's not too important. And we've actually already broken down below it. If we actually closed above this, that actually might have made a bigger difference. Let me kind of zoom in here so you guys can see what I'm talking about a little bit better. There you go. See how we already closed down below it, and then we got choppy? We have yet to close below this 2-to-1. And then the last time we had something similar here, this is the weekly chart, but as soon as we broke down below the 2-to-1, I mean, everything just really started to go bad in a hurry, okay? So I'm kind of drawing on those similarities. So we just started a new day about an hour and 20 minutes ago or so. We're very, very close to having our first day below this 2-to-1. I think the day we close down below this will be the start of another big downward move as far as Bitcoin's concerned, okay? Now, I still have short positions open right now, and I've been adding more of them over the past few days, kind of as we had these little pops here. But kind of going into the long-term thought process of where Bitcoin could go, if we break down below this 2-to-1 GAN level, our next support level is really right down here at these next Fibonacci levels of about $23,000, okay? Now, what I could do is add on the 200 weekly moving average here. Oh, that's the 100. Let me see if I can find the 200. There we go. And style input. Let's go to week. There you go. So you can see right down here, kind of matching up with all these Fibonacci levels here, okay? And this kind of goes back into that process that we were talking about. What happens if the NASDAQ were to come into contact with its own 200 weekly moving average? Let me get rid of all this stuff right here. We don't need it for now. There you go. So what happens if the NASDAQ comes into contact with its own 200 weekly moving average? Will it bounce and then fall like it did in 2008 and like it did in the dot-com bubble of, I don't know, 2001, I guess? That's like 21 years ago. Every time we come into contact with it, it's always a bad sign. Bounce, then drop. Bounce, then drop. Always after a nice little rally here. So if we fall into that same thing, we may bounce, then really start a nasty drop here. And again, I'm not saying it's likely to happen, but you guys should have a plan. During that time frame of the NASDAQ coming back into contact with its 200 weekly moving average, you guys should see Bitcoin at the same time making its move down to its 200 weekly moving average. And since Bitcoin has been following the NASDAQ for the most part here for the last 5-6 months or so, if the NASDAQ does break down below the 200 weekly moving average that it has, you better hope that Bitcoin can hold these Fibonacci levels. And these levels are going to be more, well, at this point in time, the way we're kind of moving here, kind of slow. Let me see if I can find a highlighter. There we go. Let me get the magnet off. You want us to hold this little quadrant right here and kind of bounce somewhere along this green line, okay? Somewhere right over there. Now, and hopefully the 200 moving average will be around that time. 200 weekly moving average on Bitcoin's part will be around there. But if we end up actually coming down below the 200 weekly moving average, like for a consistent period of time, because the NASDAQ does the same, that next level of support is really going to be much lower than that, and it kind of brings you down to the support levels that we had on this little dip from 2020. If that's going to happen here, you guys would want to buy anywhere from about $16,000, $14,000, maybe $15,000. But I think right now, let's say $16,500 to somewhere around maybe $19,000, like, $20,000 to $16,000 would be a good little buying zone somewhere down here if we really do make that plunge. It wouldn't happen like this fast. It would take weeks, and so we might come back. Let me show you. Get rid of all this other stuff. It would happen more like this. We break down, we consolidate, maybe we come into contact with the 200 somewhere over here, and then we may even come back up here a little bit more, but we're going to eventually break down below this one, maybe. And then if we break down, that's going to be that crazy zone, but it'll kind of go all the way until like August or something like that if we really do have this really bad thing happening, okay? So again, not likely to happen right now, but I am starting to get you guys prepared in the case that that the Nasdaq really did break down below its own 200 weekly moving average, because historically, guys, I mean, again, we're close, but we're really, really close. We've come close before and bounced. It just seems like we didn't have inflation over here. We didn't have inflation over here. We had a lot of growth, a lot of good times in the market, okay? Now we kind of have real economic problems, chances of world wars, all that type of good stuff, right? So if we were to break down, in 2008, that breakdown was about 41% or so. In this circumstance, because this was a major bubble here, we can debate on whether we're in a bubble right now. That's for another time, I would say. But we came down about 63% here. So we could always come down a lot more, depending on which Fibonacci levels you want to use. Did we actually hit any of these Fibonacci levels? No. Did this one hit? Oh, gosh, I forgot. My Fibonacci levels are off too because of what I was doing earlier. So let me put on all these lines here. So yeah, support. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So this one worked out for us. So let me see if we've hit any of these longer term Fibonacci levels. Because if we have, it might give us an opportunity to find the next bottom here. So if we do break down below it, we may find a bottom as far as the Nasdaq at the $8,000 mark, which, again, from where we are now, would drop us down about 30% or so. I mean, that's not terrible, but it kind of goes into what we've been seeing over the past few years. Or what we could look at here is we move it up to the 2008 lows. We could come into contact about another 27% down, or if things get really, really nasty, I'm not saying they are, but if they really did, we could come down about 40, 50% from where we are now and come all the way back down to $6,000 or $5,000. I don't think that's going to happen. So, I would think more likely somewhere around this $8,000 level or a little bit below that one. I think that's more realistic as far as where I could see the NASDAQ come back down if we do break down below the 200 weekly moving average. Because historically, I mean, let me just zoom out. You guys can see that yellow line on your screen. When we drop down below that yellow line, it just seems like bad things tend to happen. And we've used that same concept for the most part when it comes to Bitcoin. Remember? When we break down below the 20-month moving average, bad stuff seems to happen. Every single time, bad stuff seems to happen. It's something that just it happens over and over. It's a recurring theme. Until that's really broken, I'm going to keep on using that method, okay? Same with the weekly death crosses here. Death cross, boom. Death cross, boom. Death cross, boom. It happens all the time, even back to 2014. Death cross, boom. It's something that Bitcoin does a lot. That's one of the reasons I was so bearish over the past few months and kind of letting you guys know, hey, Bitcoin can have a reversal, but right now with that death cross kind of looming, it doesn't seem as likely. All right. So, one last thing here is I did a tutorial to kind of show you how to do this in a simple way. It's going to show you guys how to use Fibonacci extension levels, Fibonacci retracement levels, and Ganfin levels all in one tutorial. it's kind of ad hoc of me to like not ad hoc, I kind of did it out of a spur of the moment because I was doing this and I was like, oh, you guys might want to learn how to use this as well. So it's gonna be a longer tutorial, but kind of more boring at the same time, but useful. And then I'll make a more polished one later on. Right now, it's just 2 files in one of my YouTube folders, and I'm going to be editing it tomorrow, and then probably giving it out to you guys by Wednesday, Thursday, maybe. That way you guys can look to see how to put each of your gain friend levels on, and then you just use the ones that are most important. There are tons of Fibonacci levels on this screen that you guys cannot see. Excuse me. But what I want you guys to understand is the reason we're just lollygagging around this level is this specific 2-to-1 Gann friend level. And do you know where this 2-to-1 Gann friend level comes from? Let's zoom out a little bit more. Actually, let me just go over here to the weekly chart so I don't have to zoom out as much. It's from the lows we got in 2015. This thing has still played an important part here. Even going back to the COVID lows, from the weekly standpoint, that was the low from the COVID lows, okay? So last time we had a big capitulation, this was our support. We came down, again, we had a wick that came down about an extra 27%, so that was really bad. But, we held, and then guess what? We bounced right off of it, and off to the races we went. Now we're seeing it again. And so if we do break down below this, the next Gann friend level, the next real major levels of support as far as like all these mathematical terms that you guys always see me using, as far as Gann friends and Fibonacci retracement levels, it's all the way down here at $23,000. So you're gearing up to see a lot of people take this opportunity to try to short. People are just kind of putting cash on hand. They're either going to sell some Bitcoin off and dump it, so to speak, or what they're going to try to do is just open up these really nice short positions. And it can be on Ethereum, Bitcoin, whatever. But looking at this, guys, this is the support level that I haven't really seen many people actually been using, so to speak, on their videos and stuff like that. And I've been looking everywhere. I've been trying to figure out what I've been missing. And after like 5 hours of looking at a whole bunch of data, it turns out I was missing it because I had to use the Gann friend level from freaking 2015 to figure out what's going on now. So, yeah. It takes some time, but, yeah. But that's the main reason, guys. I will talk to you guys about this for the next few days. For a while now. But I just want you guys to understand, we've kind of already broken down below this, and you can see how choppy we have been. I'm not taking too much... I'm not putting too much weight behind this line anymore. We held it during this last big crash that we had, held it perfectly. Bounced, came all the way back down. On the second attempt, we came and closed down below it. It is what it is. This 2-to-1 Gann friend level at this moment in time really seems to be that level of support that we need to be focusing on. Let me actually make sure I lock that, okay? Okay. And kind of, in the grand scheme of things, without all these freaking, all the Gann friends on your screen, you guys can see we're still a little bit far away from the 22,000-ish that we're seeing from the 200 weekly moving average. At this point, with the new week that we had today, or yesterday, excuse me, the 200 weekly moving average is now up to $22,000. So as long as the NASDAQ can stay well above its 200 weekly moving average, I think Bitcoin may in the short term just find a low around $22,000, $23,000. Okay? Again, just because we have a Gann friend level of support does not mean that we can't have a wick down below it while we're holding. We can't go down below it while we're holding. So I would assume that, this is old. That's not going to be useful there. But as long as we don't close below the Gann fan on a weekly basis, I think we'll be fine. Even then, I think it'd be hard. Even if we did close down below it, there'd be something else going on with Bitcoin beyond just the technicals. That'd be like a pure market manipulation or a big move by the NASDAQ really just tanking Bitcoin, which at this point, again, unlikely, but it's plausible at this point. I want you guys to be prepared just in case that were to come up, okay? So, sorry for that whole little rant. Geez, that took a little bit of time. My voice is tired now. But if you guys have any questions, let loose. Everything else is pretty much staying chill at this moment in time. We're still watching the Ethereum breakdown. Ethereum just broke down below its 100 weekly moving average now. And of course, just like Bitcoin did, it should continue to fall down here pretty hard, unfortunately. As far as Ethereum's 200 weekly moving average, though, it's not nearly as useful as Bitcoin's has been over the years. Not nearly as useful here. All I'm looking at as far as Ethereum is I hope it can come back down to like maybe 1213 by the time all this is done, especially if things get really, really bad for the market. On the other hand, if Bitcoin just falls down a few more percent, you might find a support around 1400, 1500 for Ethereum down at the lower end, okay? Kind of go back up to this peak right here, about $1,400. Okay, I need to take a break from talking. Sorry. All right, but if you guys have any questions, shoot them away, and I'll be happy to look at anything you guys are interested in right now. And let me do this right here. 5. So we can see if anything big actually happens today. So far, nothing crazy has really happened as far as I've been watching in the markets. There we go. All right, take a sip of. All right, there we go. Hey, bro, science. I don't hold stocks, but I'm buying Activision Blizzard calls way out. Dope company. I think they'll be fine. You just have to make sure that they don't have any problems. I haven't heard any problems with them. Like I was playing Cyberpunk today. I forget what that company's name is, but they had a lot of problems with the release of their product last year or a couple years ago now, I think. But yeah, I don't think Activision Blizzard they're going to have any issues like that, especially since they're kind of been bought out by now. Hey, bro, science about to short dot though. That's good. I mean, a lot of people, guys, are just going to be shorting and adding small short positions right now because we all think I think the market's going to tank. So it's okay just to have these open shorts at the moment. Again, if you have open shorts for days and you're not just buying the big movement down, you can just put like 5x position and just let it sit. Preferably on a Bitcoin or Ethereum because they're not just going to pop out of nowhere, if you understand what I'm saying. A lot of times you see altcoins that, like, if Bitcoin just goes up 1%, we're just kind of doing nothing. One altcoin may pop up like 40% out of nowhere and your short gets ruined. So if you want to play it safe, Ethereum is usually my best thing to short. And there's also Bitcoin there as well. I usually short Ethereum, though, off of Bitcoin's technicals. But I'll keep reminding you guys throughout this stream, and I guess for the next couple weeks here. But you guys should really pay attention when I bring that up in the stream. Those levels are going to be important. We haven't closed down below that level, that 2-to-1 level, in Bitcoin's entire history. Since we kind of opened it up at 2015, it's never closed down below that level. Okay, so I think that's why this is having such a strong support level. It managed to hold up against COVID. Let that kind of sink in. If it couldn't close down below that level for COVID, what could it do? Or what can it do? And hey, Michael, not to disrespect the technical analysis, I just can't imagine people would let it get that low. Think about it like this: as far as if Bitcoin could really take a move down. I got a whiteboard over here, and I got a smoothie cup over here too. What's the best chart to be using this for? Now we can use this one right here. Yeah. So here's a monthly chart for Bitcoin. So on this drop down all the way back in 2014, 2015-ish, Bitcoin came down about 86%. On this one over here, more people involved in the market, not people selling off as much, right? Bitcoin came down about 84%. On this one over here, Bitcoin came down about 70%. And so far where we're at in this part of the cycle, Bitcoin's only gone down about 60%. So if Bitcoin goes down about 80% in total, or somewhere around where everybody else is buying, that kind of brings you down to $13,000, $14,000. All right. Now we do have a whole revolution, or a new thing as far as crypto is concerned in the marketplace. More people want to buy into it. Yada yada yada. So I don't think we're going to go down to $13,000 by any stretch. But I do think we definitely have a lot more downside where now $16,000 is still possible. Even $14,000 may be possible. Now it's an extreme situation, but I think we could at least go down to $20,000, if not $16,000, if things get really bad for the NASDAQ in particular and really bad for the economy overall. Remember, throughout Bitcoin's entire history, right, really starting off over here in 2010 and so forth, it's never been through a recession. Bitcoin has never been through a recession, or an American recession. America has a way of spreading our recessions across the world because of our financial, the way globalism kind of links us all together. But you know, it's definitely possible for us to keep on dropping back down. If you want to use this as a metric, we normally don't go too far down below the 50-month moving average, just like how we don't go down below the 200 weekly moving average every too often. That may help you out too. But again, we've never had to deal with a prolonged bear market. Let's just take a look at the NASDAQ. And what's the best way to do this for you guys? Oh, let's go twos. Let's get rid of the sidebar over here. Well, what is going on with my sidebar? There's a lot of stuff missing over here. That's interesting. Okay. Actually, I need that for now. Let's go to Bitcoin here. No, let Bitcoin over here. Let me put my glass down. Bitcoin weekly chart. That'll be fine. And let's go over here to my watch list. Let's go over here to the NASDAQ. There we go. All right. And this is a weekly chart. It is. Jeez. All right. Got to switch it up. There we go. Okay. So Bitcoin kind of popping around here from 2011, 2009, whatever you want to think about it. Here from the NASDAQ. I know it's going to look very small to you guys. Just bear with me. What we're seeing right here from when Bitcoin really started to take off, right around here, to the NASDAQ, that's like coming out of the 2008 financial, like, the Great Recession, as people call it, right? That's like that time right there. Okay? So we've never actually had to experience those really bad moves on the downside before. So nobody really knows how Bitcoin is going to react when we actually hit a recession. Nobody knows what's going to happen. We're hoping that it turns out to be something more like, the 2008 financial collapse instead of the dot-com bubble, because the dot-com bubble is, from peak to low, dot-com bubble was like 83% of for it, right? And they say stocks don't trade like crypto, right? But yeah, so all it's ever known is a great upward market, right? We gave a whole bunch of bailouts. We kind of changed up the regulations a little bit. Different administrations did different things to kind of pump up the market to kind of keep the economy going. Trump cut taxes. Obama did like these big packages and everything like that. So they both did stuff. Obama did more global trade type stuff. Trump did more. I don't know. They all did good stuff to kind of help out the economy in their own ways. You can debate it if you want to about good or bad, but they both did stuff they believe is good for the economy. But again, let's kind of zoom out here. Right there. For Bitcoin way over here. This point right here goes to that right there. All it's ever known is up. All it's ever known is up. And until we kind of see this play out, we really have no idea because these circumstances are so crazy. And why is my chart? I don't know if you guys can see my my watch list here, but it's just missing so much data. It's kind of freaking me out a little bit. Let me exit out of this right now. Maybe that'll help out. This working fine. That's working fine. Okay, that's working fine. Yeah, so I don't do a show like this. But yeah, hopefully that kind of like opens your eyes a little bit as far as like how bad things can really get if they want to get bad. Right? Again, not likely, but definitely plausible. 16,000 for Bitcoin is not likely, but it is plausible, right? Heck, even 14,000 is plausible. But again, that would have to take something really out of the ordinary to really bring us down that low. And hey, Justin, what's up, Mike? Good to see you, buddy. Hope all is well. Are we breaking down here or what? No, basically, we talked about this a little bit ago. This is important. So over this weekend, I kind of spent a few hours looking at what I was missing from a technical standpoint of why we stopped here of all places. And it turns out we had to use the GAN-FAN levels in particular from 2015 of all things, 2015. And so that's really the support level that we're looking at. It's the 2-to-1 GAN-FAN level from back then. I don't even think I've seen this in anybody's charts yet. Usually, I know there are YouTubers that watch my charts because I see them copy my analysis like 2 days later, which makes me feel proud. But what do you call it? That's the support we're looking at right now. We held this support on the Ganfin level for a while. Second attempt, lost it. Right, we closed down below it, and right now we're just getting choppy. The day we break down below this 2-to-1, though, I mean, we might even just have a slow day after that or whatever, but that'll really start the big downward move over the next few weeks. Similar to what we saw for the last Ganfin break, right? Let's go to the day chart here. See how we stopped? We closed down below both Ganfin levels, 2-to-1 and the 8-to-1 right here. Popped up back above it. We even closed above the 2-to-1 just barely. But what happened? We just slowly sunk, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, bloop. Same thing could definitely happen again. So be careful. Like if you short here or here, it might actually go up and it may make you freak out a little bit. But you know, you got to be able to hold it. Or you don't even have to short there. You can just kind of wait to see what happens if and wait for a larger move or a larger breakdown. Like in this circumstance, you might have been able to use this right here. Support, support, support. Now you could short right there and boom, boom, boom. Right? If you wanted to do that way as well, you have options. But yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. Where this is that squeeze I'm talking to you guys about. We're having this little bit of a crunch, and then what's squeezing us is. Can I do that as well? Let's go to chart 50. Okay, getting squeezed by this 20-day moving average here. I mean, we're either gonna have to break above this and have a bear market rally, or we're gonna get rejected by the 20-day moving average sometime over the next 2 to 3 days and just fall off of a freaking cliff. And you'll see me put my Bitcoin crash thumbnail back up on my screens where it says bag holders welcome, right? But yeah, so just because we're testing out the support right now does not mean we're definitively going to break down below it. But if we do, you guys better have a plan, and you guys can make a bunch of money shorting this, basically. Now, if you guys don't know how to use leverage, I have a few links down below that kind of help you out with that. And they have some good exchanges. But you guys should be starting off with small amounts if you guys do want to do this. Because let's say you did the last Ganfin breakdown, for instance, the one we've been talking about over here. You took the short, and let's say you actually took it at the day of. You didn't wait for that breakdown. And let's go to where we are now, I guess. Where we are currently, that'd be about 23%, right? 23%. And by that logic, if you had like a 5x leverage play, you could have made about 100%. 23%. Yeah, it depends. So, yeah, let's just call it 20%. You could have made a 100% profit in 13 days. 100% back for 13 days. That's not too bad, especially for those of you guys who are new to leverage. If you guys are trading like Babyfish likes to trade with 20 to 50x leverage, even sometimes 125x leverage. If you're trading with 50x leverage, that's 50 times 20. Hey Siri, what's 50 times 20? That's 1,000% profit. Okay, I should have known that. Jeez. But yeah, so you get my point. Now you got to be careful though, because in that process, if you took a short right here and you had 50% leverage, Bitcoin went up like 6%. So that's 6 times 50. That's how much you'd be down before it ultimately came back down here. Okay, to just let you guys know how that works out. It's very risky. That's why I tell you guys to don't use a large amount of leverage unless you guys are comfortable and you guys have enough money in your margin account to kind of back up that that margin. There we go. Oh, and everybody that's a member, I'm liking the new badges. I really do like the new badges, everybody. I think I'm going to keep them for a while. I'll choose some new ones next year or something like that, or another year or something like that. I don't know. But I do like the new badges that I put up for you guys, and I appreciate you guys being members. And hey, Bobby, yeah, if you can, please make sure to like the stream. It does help out. It does help out a lot. No, my dog barked. He hasn't barked in like 2 weeks. And what's right here? And Hades, as far as the Fed is concerned, they still give interest to help the economy, even if it tanks the market. When it reaches a sustainable level, they pump and print money again, rinse and repeat. Yeah, remember, guys, inflation is designed by the government, right? What's an easy way to describe this? You guys know it's easier to do so much stuff than it was just like a decade ago. A decade ago, if I wanted to watch a movie, I would have to get a DVD and put it into a DVD player, and then and then it would play on the TV. Now I just have to stream, right? Or nowadays it's cheaper than ever to farm, right? You can farm a lot more food on a lot more land, but because of everything set up, food still isn't cheaper than it was like a decade ago, right? Even though technology has progressed, the government has to inject inflation into it. I don't know exactly the reason behind it, but it does. That's why you see stuff like we've done all this accomplishments, but the price of goods keeps on going up and up and up. That's because the government wants it to happen, right? And that's just the way it is, unfortunately. But we don't have to have inflation. Governments want inflation. I mean, like just look at the ruble. So, like, one of the things that I was really astonished by the other day is I have a few friends in Russia, and I had watched some morning shows, like the morning political shows, and they were talking about how the ruble was hit low, how the Russian economy is not looking so good, all that type of stuff, right? And I was talking to my friends. I was like, "Hey, can you help me out here? Is the economy like really, really bad, or where's it at? Like, America has propaganda like every other country." So I was trying to ask them, like, is the ruble really that bad right now, or did it get fixed up a little bit? Because a few months ago, if you guys don't, a month ago or so, Russia said if you want our oil, you have to pay with rubles, right? And I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty interesting. I haven't heard really. I heard a bunch of people say that wasn't going to happen, but then I took a look at the ruble the other day, and check this out, guys. What's the better chart to be using this for? Let's make a new chart. Yeah. So here's Bitcoin's chart. Now let me go to USD with the Russian ruble. USD ruble. So USD versus the Russian ruble, but from IDC. You guys remember at the war, the American dollar against the ruble skyrocketed. Well, have you guys? I didn't even know this. This is why I got to talk to all my international friends. The ruble is doing fantastic right now. Did you guys know this? I did not know this. War in Ukraine is bad. I want to make that clear. But as far as the ruble is concerned, I had no idea this was going on. The last time I saw it, it was like skyrocketing up, and I thought it would still be somewhere around here. But look at this. The ruble's gone down to lows that we haven't seen since 2008. So somehow they managed to fix everything up. And so, how do I say this? The markets are just going to be kind of all over the place for the next few months. But as far as the Federal Reserve is concerned, the whole way that like the governments are set up, it's just kind of a cluster, what right now, and I'm taking a lot of what I hear from it with a grain of salt all of a sudden, because I really thought the ruble was like tanked, like, and it was like permanently like 50% down or really damaged. I had no idea the comeback that the currency had, and it's because apparently not the big Western countries, but a lot of the countries have been buying the ruble to pay for oil and energy because they need it, right? For their they don't really have the energy to independence that people keep on talking about, right? So I thought that was fairly interesting. Let's see. And hey, Hector, did you happen to see back as well? The IMF. Oh God, I remember learning in college that the IMF is pretty much a terrorist organization. And hey, Mirth, happy to see you. And how do I see Rose Weekend? What do you mean Rose Weekend? What is Rose Weekend? Is that a coin or a stock? And hey, Pinto, 2 zeros and 1 from the 10. I don't know. I'm losing. You guys must be having a conversation. I don't see it. And hey, Can, did you ask a question? I did not see your question, Can. No, I did not see your question, Can. I see that one, but I don't see the actual question. Let's see. And hey, Deez, give us Mike writing Floki sticker in the live chat, please. If I could actually figure out how to do that, I would, but I have no idea how to do graphic designing at all. I had to pay for all those little logo things, but I thought they looked nice, little award type things. Let's see. And hey, Pinto, they switched to the gold standard. There you go as well, yeah. And hey, Michael, because America has tort attention, that is very true. That is very, very true. We have a notoriously high one. But that kind of makes the world go round and round here in America. I feel like I don't even know what we would do if we didn't have all the flashy things to distract us as a society. But heck, when I move down to Nicaragua, I'm not going to have all those flashy things like going to a baseball game, football game, sports, whatever it may be, right? I'm just going to be literally like on the beach, drinking a pina colada, living my life, having a good time. And hey, these oil and currency, a great tool in trade market speculation. Dude, it's fantastic. I wish I would have bought some ruples now because that price is like gone down drastically. I was really surprised. That's why I like to talk to my friends in other countries. Like I have friends in France. I have a couple friends in Italy right now. I like to just kind of chat with them, say how are things really going, because it usually gives me an update of like, hey, how bad the situation is really across the world. I've always just been speculative of what the media tells me, I guess, right? Let's see. And hey, Michael, beach stream. If I don't know if I would have Wi-Fi on the beach, but I could go do a stream from my house where you see the beach behind me. It's kind of like when I first started this channel. I lived in a nice apartment building downtown, and before I had moved over here to help my mom after her stroke, in a lot of my videos, you guys could see the waterfront behind me as I was streaming. It was really, really nice. But I have to say, living out here in the suburbs, it's very, very cheap. It's much cheaper than I ever thought it would be. Living downtown, however, with a waterfront view, like 1,200 square feet with all wood floors and parking, it can be kind of pricey, but I mean, I enjoyed it. The Wi-Fi is on a whole other level downtown, though. They have fiber optics and all that crazy stuff. It's nice. I feel like they're going to short oil in the conflict soon. I can feel it. I don't know. I know Russia just said they want to put people 40 and over in the military, but I'm not entirely sure. I don't know how that's going to really work as far as the Russia-Ukraine conflict. They seem to be kind of just duking it out over and over again. I have no idea. I'm not touching oil as far as shorting it, though. I'm not touching it as far as shorting it right now. If anything, I'm just going to go long on oil and just hope it goes up even more as far as the cost per the barrel. Because if you take a look at oil here, U.S. oil. Oh, I forgot they had the negatives from COVID. We're still going up, guys. We are still going up here. Still making a move up. We thought we might have slowed down. We had these big drops. It's almost like the dollar index. Every time we make a big move up, we just get crashed back down. Then we consolidate for a little bit of time. Then we suddenly make a big move up here, right? Same thing with the DXY, or dollar index. Here's the daily chart. Remember, every time we come up here, we just get knocked back down. Well, this is the same chart as before. Probably the 15. There you go. We broke out of we broke the resistance here, got knocked down, came back down, broke the resistance here, got knocked down, broke the resistance again, knocked down, broke the resistance here, a big one, and then we get knocked down heavily, right? So we are seeing this cycle kind of repeat here, quite a bit, unfortunately. But I don't know. Have you guys heard much about YouTubers talking about this over the past few days or weeks? I thought we were going to break above this level of resistance right here, and I think a lot of people thought we were just going to get rejected from it. But I haven't heard much talk about it since then. Maybe somebody has, but I want to see what their thoughts are on the subject. All right, there we go. All right. Michael's going to be a Bitcoin and a Dogecoin warlord in Nicaragua. Guys, I would love to work with the Nicaraguan government to help bring crypto to like their country, but in a way that'd be more practical. So like if I was a business and there's a whole bunch of businesses, particularly in Western Europe and England and America as far as crypto is concerned, I would love to start up some partnerships and be the mediary between those companies and working with the Nicaraguan government, not to really do much work on their behalf, but just kind of get, hey, check these people out, so to speak. And I'd be a big proponent of Bitcoin in Nicaragua by a long shot. I would love that a lot. And hey, Bedford, off topic, are you going to see Top Gun Maverick and IMAX relatives in the UK and Germany? I haven't. I don't even know where the closest IMAX theater to me is. The last time I went to an IMAX movie, I think was in Seattle. There was an IMAX theater in the Seattle Science Center. Maybe. I don't know. Most of the time, I just wait for it to come on like a streaming platform and I just watch it. Because normally my speakers and my TV are better than anything else they got in the movie theater. But I do want to watch it. I heard they had great reviews. The new movie. I don't know. I have to see. If anything, I'll probably see it at AMC theaters because they have those really nice, luxurious, or I won't say luxurious, but really nice reclining seats. I might watch it there. I might take my mom and sister so they can all see it with us. Yeah, I'll probably take people to see it, but not in IMAX. There's not enough IMAX theaters over here on the West Coast as far as I'm concerned. I don't even know if there's an IMAX movie theater like within an hour of me. That's how bad it is. And hey, Pinto, the dive with Jackson has been on the story day by day. Ukraine, backed by the Western NATO, have been what do you call Kobo lost, so now they start with China. Oh, I haven't been following any of that type of stuff. And hey, Moonshine, feel happy to see you back right here. Senior citizen action movie. I am a senior citizen in spirit. But I heard it was a really good movie, so I'll have to watch it. And hey, Byford, I'm going tomorrow night, so I won't be on. Can't wait. Hey, tell me how it is. Don't tell me how the movie ends, but I do want to see how it. I do want to watch it. It seems like it'll be a good movie, and I haven't seen those movies in a long time. I remember watching the 4K trailer on my TV. The sound, the engines, it was nice. It was really nice there. All right. But guys, let's take a quick peek at some of these other crypto coins here, and let's, a pretty basic one if I do say so. Uh, let's go to the weekly here. Ethereum is still on its way to its two. Oh, this is Bitcoin. There you go. Ethereum is still on its way to its 200 weekly moving average, but definitely a lot further away from it than Bitcoin currently is. And you can see, like we talked about before, the 200 weekly moving average on Ethereum is not the same thing as the 200 weekly moving average on Bitcoin. Bitcoin normally has these monster surges, so it doesn't actually come into contact with it too often. But in this case, Ethereum is, not the same as Bitcoin, obviously. Had the breakdown. As far as what I'm looking at here, guys, it's just simple, just support level. Uh, okay, that's fine. Support. I think our next level of support for Ethereum again is going to be down here at about $1,700, so about a 200 drop from where we are now. You know, I think if we close down below this line, things get really bad really fast, so we can have that real big dump coming off. But until then, let's just think about Ethereum having a nice support level around $1,700 and hoping that it can stay above that level here. I think if Bitcoin goes down to the 200 weekly moving average, you'll see Ethereum. Let's see. Ethereum has about 14% or so to find its support level here. As far as Bitcoin's concerned, so 14% to about 25%, right? So if actually that's the case here, Ethereum will most likely go more than 25%, about maybe 35 to 40%, which could bring it down around $1,200 because it does fall down more than Bitcoin. Usually when Bitcoin's going down 5%, Ethereum's going down 7 to 8% at the same time. So you could definitely see that happening here with Ethereum. So short-term support 1,700, longer-term support actually seems like it could run into this 200 weekly moving average as well here. Okay. Dogecoin. Okay, we haven't talked about this one in a minute here, so we had a falling wedge. We broke out of it. I mean, not much profit was made there because Bitcoin kind of slammed it back down. You would have had an opportunity to only make about 5% profit. Not much there at all. As far as what I see now, that's it as far as Dogecoin on the downtrend here. Um, Maybe it could pop up above its 20, but right now Dogecoin looks like it wants to go closer to 7 cents rather than going all the way back up here like to 10 cents or 11 cents. Okay. Matic below its Fibonacci level like it has been for the past few weeks. Let's see if it actually closes down below this. If Matic closes down below this Fibonacci level, it could definitely go down to about 43, 44 cents over the next few weeks at the minimum, okay? At the minimum. Anything else I want to see here, though? Sheeb. Sheeb can go all the way back down to the lows it saw back over here. This one has just definitely been hit a little hard. Anything else I need to see? I mean, one last thing, guys, here is Luna. Um, Luna really hasn't been doing anything, guys. It found some lows over here, then it got pumped back up. It's still pretty far. This is gonna be annoying. There you go. It's still pretty far away from this trend line up here. It's getting closer and closer. With this consolidation period, if Luna does break out here, it might be a good day trade or even a swing trade if you guys want to take that opportunity. Again, Luna is so high risk and so volatile right now. You guys have to be careful if you guys do want to be buying into it, okay? You have to be willing to treat this like a casino where you can lose money and you have to not be able to bat an eye with it, okay? Uh, STMX, anything here? STMX is heading back down to 0.0074 maybe over the next week or two. If STMX comes all the way back down to here, I'll probably snatch a couple $1,000s worth though. I'm really hoping STMX can make it big, and I want to buy some down here, hoping that if we do find a bottom over the next few weeks, it can consolidate for like a few months and then break out later on the year. I think right now, as far as Bitcoin's concerned, if we do have a really big quarter coming up, it'll most likely be the end of quarter 3 going into quarter 4. So, um, August, September, and then onward towards December. If we're going to have any major moves in the market on the upward swing, and I'm talking like, moves that cause a little bit of FOMO, but we're not heading towards all-time highs just yet, it would probably happen in Q3, Q4, okay? All right. But for now, we just got to watch Bitcoin be boring and hurry up and make a move to get out of this little bit of a pickle that we're seeing right now, okay? But as soon as we break down below this, it's going to be bad news. But as I'm looking at it right now, guys, it's the 20-day moving average. That's what we have to worry about. Let me go to the 15-minute chart here. Focus this just on the daily chart here. There it is, right up here, right? So that's our level of resistance right now. If we can get above it, awesome. We can have a little bit of a bear market rally like we talked about during today's video. But if we get rejected by it, then we come all the way back down here. We close on the daily below this. And then, again, there's just so much open space where we could really tank again. All the way back down to the $23,000 level. And then there is where you're probably going to see a lot of people want to buy, and go crazy with it. And we got to hope that the market isn't going to be hit too bad where the Nasdaq's going to fall down below its 200 weekly moving average. And then we could just keep on pushing on and forgetting all about any chance of us hitting $16,000. Okay. Because I'd be happy if Bitcoin hit $16,000 personally because I'd be able to buy because I have enough faith in Bitcoin to buy at those levels. But I do know a lot of people would probably be freaking out at those levels and people would just be going mad and crazy. CNBC would be saying, is Bitcoin done? Bitcoin is zero. Hear what our expert says next, right? So that caused a lot of people to really just freak out and panic, which is understandable. But if you haven't been trading these cycles before as far as Bitcoin's concerned, it'll really decimate you if we do drop down below that 200 weekly moving average because I told you guys about, a couple months ago now that I thought we might run into the 200 weekly moving average just as off of what we were talking about with that death cross in the weekly charts. But since then, everybody's kind of hopped on that same bandwagon, right? Saying, oh, okay, are we heading down to the 200 weekly moving average, right? They started to put the pieces together. Well, now that I'm talking about $16,000, I hope people don't, try to go in on that even more here. We'll see how it works out, but at this moment in time here, guys, I wouldn't worry about $16,000. We would have to see and wait to see what we would have to wait and see what the Nasdaq really wants to do, and for that, we'd really have to see how bad the economy gets, and if the jobs can stay, the job market can stay strong, even though we have high inflation and people are looking to spend a little bit less money, of course. Excuse me, jeez. That's what you get from drinking smoothies. All right. But this should be very interesting to see for the next few months, though, at least. Back to chart. There we go. Alrighty. I'll be ambassador for Nicaragua. I would love to be an ambassador for Nicaragua. If they could pay me to get me a nice house, maybe I don't have to pay as much. I'll say, hey, I'll be an ambassador, but no taxes for the rest of my life. We got a deal. And hey, Michael, Mike, for the long-term holding, what would you consider best for a percentage of portfolio in Bitcoin and Ethereum? Um, about 50 to 60% of my entire crypto portfolio is tied up in Bitcoin and Ethereum as far as long-term holds. Those are the two coins that I just know are never ever going to go down to zero, right? I just have no, well, I believe they're not going to hit zero, right? Everything else that like lasts 50 to 40%, it's kind of probably around 45% or something like that. It's tied up in what well, another 30% from that. So let's say about 80% total. Yeah, it's about 30, another 30% of that is tied up in things like FTM, not STMX, Dogecoin, Matic, ADA. Those really high market cap coins. And then the last like 20 to 25% of my portfolio is going into the high risk coins like an STMX, Dogelon, Mars, anything that I feel like has a lower market cap, like under 500 million or 1 billion, but it has some type of utility or it has a good memeable opportunity, like a Dogelon, right? That's what I'd be looking at as far as that last 25%. But I would think if you guys don't want to take on the extra risk, you guys could put all, like maybe just skip it to 10 for those really YOLO coins, and then the rest of you can be putting more into like an ADA or a Matic or something like that. It might help you out a little bit more. But everybody has their risk tolerance. Right now, 25% is kind of a lot for most people, just because I'm more conservative with my day and swing trading. But as far as long-term investing is concerned, I'm always happy to take the risk because it's something I can just dump money into it, and I'm going to be holding for like a year plus. So I don't really care if it goes up or down a little bit. But as far as swing trading, yeah, I'm much more conservative. As far as my long-term portfolio, ride or die. And hey, Ken, I don't know. I didn't see it. I can see you. I guess my question. You can ask the question again, Ken. I don't think my questions are getting through. Yeah, I don't see it coming through at all. But you can always try it again, or you can try to type it in a weird way. Huh. Hey, Bradford. Thank you, Mike, on Ethereum. So I could be buying I could have a buying opportunity around 1,200. Yes. Now you'd have to wait for Bitcoin to really take, but yes, that's definitely possible. Let's see. And hey, D's, there are influencers. Influencers here shows his Luna trade like crazy, and influencer people. Oh, I hate to. Oh, you hate people that tell people to buy Luna. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you guys can buy Luna. I always tell you guys as well, but you guys have to think about it as a casino. You guys really do. It is so high risk that you guys just want to buy it and hold it, or if you guys want to trade it, you guys have to understand you could lose all your money into it. I have some Luna. I have like at this point like 900,000 coins, a million Luna, something like that. A very very small amount. Not really much at this moment in time, I don't think. But yeah, it's you just gotta believe in it and hold for the long term. Not really much you can do for Luna. But it's a very very high risky one. Yeah, I know there's a lot of people on Twitter telling people to buy like crazy. It's gonna go back to $1. Yeah, those people are gonna lose money. um, And hey, Mooder Hill, happy to see you back as well. And hey, I've got Anatich. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. Shorting any stocks during the retail earnings. I already shorted a few of them. I didn't short them. I guess I bought puts. As far as earnings are concerned right now, I've really only been looking to short the Nasdaq, and in particular, I've been doing more day trading than swing trading, just because the market's been kind of choppy. The next time I actually open up a larger short position or a larger put position in the stock market in particular, is going to be when it's going to only happen after a bear market rally. That's the only way I'm going to buy it. At this moment in time, we've already been in a little bit of a slump as far as the Nasdaq's been concerned. So if I major indexes. Let's go to the daily chart. Right, you see how we've been slumping? The only way that I'd feel comfortable enough to open up like a swing trade on a longer term, a longer term swing here, I would have to wait for Bitcoin to come back up here, have a little bit more of a bear market rally, maybe back up here towards 13,000 and a half, 13,500 levels, get rejected by the 50-day moving average, that's probably where I'll take my losses there, or take some open up some short positions that are hoping that the market goes down in that situation. So in order to see that as well, I might even go over to the 4 hour chart. Oh man, this is gonna be pain now because I was hoping that we might find some way of doing a higher low so I could try to do some type of Fibonacci extension tool. But because we found a low here, it's going to be much more difficult. So if I try to do a Fibonacci extension tool here, right, um, it would just be kind of annoying. Maybe we get up to like $13,000 or so. At this moment in time, let me go to the 15 here. A little bit of resistance here, not much. Found some support off it. Some resistance here, closed above it. Still didn't really do much there. We're kind of getting held up at this level. You know, I'd probably wait till at least we hit to the 12,300 level, but most likely I'd wait for that 50-day moving average, as far as that's concerned. But as far as the moment, tech stocks are going to be your best bet for trying to short. They've been falling down hard and consistently, and they've been really good as far as day trading is concerned. They've been following these basic trendline patterns. They have a level of support. As soon as that support is broken, everything just seems to go down with them. Do I think alts were going to rally before quarter four? Depends on what you mean by rally. So I think by the end of Q3 and going into Q4, we should be looking promising for the promising as far as altcoins are concerned. I don't think that we're going to be into an altcoin season, but I think most altcoins that you buy by then should be well over 50% profit, if not hundreds of percent profit by then. Not thousands unless you get lucky. But yeah, you should be looking at some very good profit if you're able to buy altcoins around the lows, whether that's at the 200 weekly moving average we've been talking about, or if things get really, really nasty in the market, maybe around 16,000, 17,000, somewhere around there, $16,000 to $20,000. But it depends on how long we want to grind down for a little bit, right? So it depends on how long we want to grind down. But in theory, yeah, we should be doing just fine. Like if we take a quick peek here at let's go to the weekly chart, I guess. ADA, has this one been around for a while? So here we go. Here's COVID, last major capitulation that we were talking about here with a 20-week weekly death crosses, breaking double the monthly moving average, all that type of stuff. So this was in March of 2020, uh, July of 2020, 133 days. I mean, let's just go here. In this circumstance, actually, no, this is more unorganic. Let me go something else. We don't have that one. This will work. Um, so within this period of like 126 days, about somewhere around there, ADA was back up around 736%. Right now, my thing is, I think since I was hoping to go back in time a little bit to the other Bitcoin chart or the other ADA chart, but it doesn't go back that far. Um, I think we would probably stay down here a little bit longer and then eventually make that move. And that move would probably be at the end of Q. Oh, that was a horrible Q. But yeah, closer to the end of Q3 and Q4. Right now, my only thought process about how long we're going to be down there is realistically, how bad will the economy get? And we've been talking about this for a while now from a more of a practical sense. If if gas in America gets to about a price of about $6 a gallon on average, and that means in places like Washington State it'll get up to $9, $10 a gallon on average. Do you think like how are people going to be able to react when they can't afford to take their kids to school, where they can't afford to go to work because for instance, I don't know how to show you this. Get out of my zone. Um, so the way Washington works is a lot of people live down here in Tacoma and they drive all the way to Seattle every day for work. So Seattle. Actually, let me. Hold on a second here, guys. Uh, Directions, and let's go here to my old address, 15 North E Street, Tacoma, Washington. Okay. Okay. So from my old address downtown Tacoma all the way up here. Now, that's about 34 miles each way every day. Okay. Let me see if I can go here. Yes, cost calculator, maybe something like that. Oh, they do it right here. Okay. Well, let's go to. Oh, it's specific places. Well, how is that going to be useful to somebody like me? What the people? I swear. Um, net. So trip. So let's say 60. What did I say over here? 60, 60, 34. So that's like 68 miles every day. So 68 miles every day. My fuel efficiency. Let's just say it's something good like 25, right? Or let's say 25. And then gas cost right now is around $5. Okay. Calculate. How do I do this? So about $13 a day in gas. So 13 times, let's say you just work Monday through Friday, times 20. That's about $260 for gas right there. Now imagine that gets even higher. That seems really low too. That seems really, really low. But okay, whatever. Okay, that's just work. That's not talk. That's not about extra stuff. But just imagining that over the next few months here, go to something like $400, $450 because of gas going up higher, and plus taking the kid to school. That's not even work, right? Over and over again. All that money that would be going towards stuff like Netflix or going out to eat dinner for certain segments of the population, it would all just be sucked into gas alone. So what markets are going to be hit hard by that, right? You're going to see Uber drivers. I was talking to an Uber driver Saturday because he was taking me to get my haircut. He was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with these gas prices. I might actually have to find a regular job until all this high gas prices blows over, right? And then me being the guy I am, I'm like, my man, gas prices are probably going to go up far into this summer, so you better be, you better have something lined up right now. And so as all of that extra income that people have right now, gets sucked into the gas price, gets sucked in, all these inflationary things, what are they going to stop buying first of all? And then when you move over to the corporation side of things, the business side of it, well, all of a sudden it costs me so much more money to get my goods over from China over here because I got to get trucked everything, right? Well, shipping with a big old ship that takes oil over here first, and then I have to truck it over from the port to the warehouse, then the warehouse to the store. That means I'm making less money as far as the corporation is concerned because all that extra revenue got sent right into gas and shipping costs. So if gas keeps on going up, it's really just gonna blah. And I hate to be alarmist on the channel, but it's just it's gonna be so bad. It won't be catastrophic. It'll just it depends on your finances, of course, but for some people it'll be very, very bad. For others, it'll just be kind of mild and you guys will be able to endure it. And some people won't even notice it, right? I did not even know gas was going up for the past few months until people started talking about it in the news. Because all I ever do is put my credit card in, fill up the tank, and I go. Because every single time I'm filling up gas, I'm playing with my dog in the car, right? So I normally don't pay attention to it. I noticed it was high one time, and then I noticed there was one of those little stickers on it. So I did that. Those things are popping up everywhere. Freaking amazing marketing, but Jesus, I see the gas station attendants always trying to tape them off or whatever to get them off. But as all the money kind of goes to gas, I'm still trying to figure out which markets are going to be hit hardest. We've already seen Walmart say they're getting hit hard. We already see Target saying they're getting hit hard. And I think when you see luxury goods like the electronics market, I think it's going to take a big hit. So maybe people won't need the newest iPhone every freaking year. Maybe people won't need a new TV this year or for the Super Bowl. Maybe people won't need the new Sony X whatever 500 headphones. I have the 400 headphones. but maybe people don't need that type of stuff. And then what chain reaction does that start? You've already seen people in trucking companies being laid off at this point. Not the truckers. Truckers aren't being laid off. The employees at the desk at the trucking companies are being laid off. That's pretty crazy, right? So, tough times are ahead. But we'll have to see how bad it gets. Maybe the administration can kind of turn things around before it gets too bad, right? They've been kind of slow to react to a lot of the stuff happening this year as far as, baby formula shortages, fuel, stuff like that. But maybe they can do a turnaround. Maybe the Federal Reserve rate hikes will probably start having an effect. At this moment, it doesn't feel like it. But we'll have to see. Because what's going to happen here pretty soon, which may tick people off, depending on, how you guys think about stuff, we're going to have our next inflationary numbers report, next CPI report, right? The big headline number is always year over year. So, the inflation for next month should go down. And when you see that, you're going to see a lot of people going, oh my God, this is the end of inflation. We're going back down, right? Well, not really, because that's year over year. What we really care about, which is kind of hidden in the details, each administration does it. What's hidden in the details is month over month. So you guys probably saw last month, we were down a tick for inflation, right? Well, what you didn't hear, or at least to the same degree, is inflation from month to month actually rose, which means what you guys feel in your everyday life as far as inflation is concerned, that got worse. And so people in the news are going to talk about it in one way or the other, because it seems like all news, even local news, seems to be have a political bent these days, because they need those clicks, they need that engagement to kind of give them money, right? But in reality, you guys really have, we'll talk about it on the channel when the CPI data comes out. Month to month numbers are going to be just as important, if not more important, that you guys need to be aware of this, okay? And hey, Morgoth, happy to see you as well. Loki's enjoying the beautiful weather. He is. Loki's doing something. Loki, I don't know. He's not even in here. Loki. Nope. He must be in my room just chilling out, having fun. Hey, Zachary, it's live a lucky life of being 2 miles from your work. That's great. I have never lived 2 miles away from any job I have ever had. That's how that sucks so much. Oh, man. And also here, and hey, I've got, everyone is definitely going to be watching that 50-day AMA for sure. I mean, if we can tap up to that, that'd be great. I mean, I'd love to short it down from there. Let's see. And hey, Donald. And hey, Michael. The steel price for recycling seems to be going down. I think because they need to have more money available for the truck drivers to move the recyclables to port gas money. I believe it. I mean, guys, yeah. Imagine if you guys just have to fill up like a few gallons every day. That the truckers have to fill up hundreds of gallons, right? I don't know the exact amount, but I bet they have to do a lot more than us, basically. And so they're feeling that pinch a lot more than us. And remember, a lot of truck drivers are independent, so they work off of margins themselves. So that means if the gas is more expensive, that means they're making less money as well, which means they have less income as well overall, which sucks, right? Nobody wants to have less income. Nobody does. And hey, Cody, can you look at David Mitchell channel? He talks about Dogecoin shorts chart. I'd like to hear your insight on it. I can't look at his channel just because if I look at his channel while on the stream, basically YouTube will shut down the stream and say I'm stealing his content, so I can't actually look at it. As far as shorting Dogecoin, yeah, Bitcoin's very bearish right now. It'd be okay to short Dogecoin. It'd be fine with that. Personally, to me, I don't know why you'd want to short Dogecoin though. Dogecoin doesn't fall any harder than anything else. If I was looking for something to short, I'd be looking at Mana, FTM. I'd be looking at Ethereum with like a 20 to 30x leverage play. I wouldn't want to short Dogecoin. It doesn't make much sense to short Dogecoin, and particularly because it's like at 8 cents. Normally, when I'm shorting stuff, I want to short stuff that's like above 20 cents on average, or kind of closer to $1, or if it's something like mega cap where the exchange is liking me to trade that more than anything else. Like, for instance, if you go to a BitGood or a KuCoin, you can short Bitcoin with 125x leverage, but with altcoins you can only short it about 20 to 50x depending on which platform you're on, right? So I don't think it's smart to short Dogecoin, but as long as he's making money off of whatever strategy he's talking about, he should be fine. Personally, I'd be happy to short Ethereum. I'd be happy to short Matic. I'd be happy to short Mana. ICP. Boom. That thing's been shorted for a while, right? Much easier, much more capital behind it. I don't think Dogecoin is something that just looks good enough to short, if you get what I'm saying. Especially because I know you guys can't really see it, but Dogecoin isn't just like 0.08. Like, it's not just 8 cents. It's 0.08 number. And I don't like dealing with that when I'm entering and exiting a trade. It makes no sense to me to deal with that type of number. It's why I can short SHIB if I wanted to, but I'm never going to short SHIB because it looks like too much of a pain, right? I longed SHIB, and that was more than enough money I needed from it. And I told you guys when it broke down below the 20-day moving average, that's where you guys could short it, and that worked out. But not really. I don't see why shorting Dogecoin would be a fun thing to do, or just a good thing to do. Excuse me. And hey, Car Simplified, happy to see you back, my man. Happy to see you. I've seen some folks say that due to the shift to electric and alternative fuels energy, we've reached peak oil investment, not peak oil. Oh, that'd be interesting, because I know the oil corporations, they have investments all over the place. The oil companies have been investing in electric vehicles to a certain degree, and I know they want to have a piece of that new market. It'll be interesting to see how that works out. Like, me being me, I can't, well, first of all, I'm moving to Nicaragua next year, so there's no reason for me to buy an electric car. I don't even know if they have electric stations down there. But, I don't, even right now, I don't see the point of paying for an electric car. I like them. I might want to own one day, but I don't see them as superior, like, all the way to oil, right? Like, I like to take my car out to the hills and mountains and stuff like that. I would feel really uncomfortable driving a Tesla into the hills and mountains for like hunting or hiking into that. My lifestyle doesn't fit the Tesla. If I live downtown, sure, why not, But overall, I'm just like, eh. But I have been inside of a Tesla, and it was very nice inside, right? And hey, Cars, with less investment in oil discovery, there's not going to be as much additional supply to meet the demand. Margins will be great while it's still selling, though. That is interesting. I'm hoping, like, I want to know what OPEC's thinking right now in particular, because I know America, we're kind of just doing our same thing as always. But I wonder if OPEC's going to start pumping more oil, and know that everybody just wants to kind of, feast while the prices are high, so to speak. And I know Russia's doing just fine exporting oil as well. That's why we just talked about this, guys, a few minutes ago. Remember, the Russian ruble, it's doing better than it ever has. The Russian ruble compared to the dollar, it's back to 2018 levels. All the nastiness that happened to it because of the war, it's been erased. The currency is back on its foot. It's doing just fine, and they're not having any problems as far as their currency is concerned. So I wonder if they're going to make any changes to their oil policy as far as drilling and stuff like that. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how everything plays out. But as people have less money to spend on goods, guys, you're going to see them they're going to cut down on the luxury products. Right? Now, I don't know what luxury means to you guys. Luxury means a lot of people to different things. Maybe to some of you guys, Netflix is a luxury product. Maybe Hulu is a luxury product. HBO Max, a luxury product, right? Maybe you guys would just still fine paying with that. But maybe you guys don't go out 2 times a week for dinner. Maybe you guys just go out for 1 week a night for dinner, right? Or maybe instead of making 5 home-cooked meals that cost a lot of money, maybe you eat Little Caesars once a week. I don't know, right? There's a lot of ways to spend money in different ways nowadays, but I know good food is good, healthy food that I've been paying for. Freaking, it's like one grocery bag is $100 these days, and I'm not joking. One grocery bag is $100 these days. I don't know what I'm doing with my life as far as that's concerned. I'm trying to eat good, healthy food, but it's expensive for some reason. And also, I'm just eating a whole bunch of fruits. Fruits have been pretty good as well. Oh, and hey, Cody. Oh, talking about how somebody's trying to manipulate it, Dad. As far as Dogecoin's concerned, yes, that's the case. My belief, though, is somebody is seriously trying to load up on Dogecoin in particular, and so on the next big run, they can make a lot of money off of it. But I don't know exactly what force is keeping it down. I would just say larger whales trying to keep the price down, but I'm not entirely sure. I haven't seen too much action from the Dogecoin wallets over the last few weeks here, but it for the while that's kind of goes back into our thought process. Every time Dogecoin pops over the last few months, it just drops. I literally have a thumbnail that's designed specifically for when Dogecoin pops because in the thumbnail it reminds you that it pops then drops, and I'm not joking. Dogecoin has like here. Let me see if I can find it very fast. But yes, it is being manipulated. I don't know by who, but I assume somebody that I'm assuming it's by somebody that wants to buy up a large amount for cheap prices, and then whenever it hits a dollar, they'll probably dump it, or they'll dump it over a period of years. What can I find that thumbnail though? Image. Add new source. Add image. Browse. Downloads. There you go. There you guys can see it. Pop, then drop. It happens every time. You can see Elon's face on the thumbnail. It happens every single time, and that's why I have this thumbnail here just for those moments. Now, of course, we've been in this bear market for a while, so obviously, Dogecoin hasn't been popping. But every single time it has a big pop, it goes like 30%, 40%, even higher. It always comes back down, and that it's a great opportunity to short Dogecoin when it comes back down. Always, always, always. It's easy money, and because it's been so repetitive on that nature, usually retail traders like me, when Dogecoin pops, we short it back down because it always does it, right? Usually after it pops, you're waiting for it to break down below the 20 moving average on the 15-minute chart. Usually have a bounce off of it, then come down. But sometimes people just they short as it goes up and up and up, and then they just they let their shorts go negative for a while. Then eventually it comes back down, and they're just fine with making that money back as well. Oops, let me get rid of some stuff over here. There we go. All right. Oh, excuse me. And hey, Reagan, isn't their currency been bought up by themselves? So it's been a little bit by themselves. They moved over to the gold standard. And as far as the Russian ruble is concerned, so you might have heard it in the news a while ago. Russia said if you want to buy our gas, you're going to have to pay us in our own currency. And while some of the larger Western powers could really hold up against them and say, no, we're not doing it, there's a lot of other countries in the world that said, okay, we'll do it. It's not too big. It's not a big problem on our part, right? Now, it's helped out that currency immensely, but it's not just that though. It is the fact that a lot of countries have been buying it up as well, not just Russia. And hey, D's, luxury means you don't give a crap how much does a burger in McDonald's cost. When it bothers you, you know everything is getting expensive. Okay, maybe this is just because I grew up really poor, but like ever since McDonald's really moved away from the dollar menu mindset, I have not even bothered to go there. So when I grew up really poor, you guys know my background, the ghetto. If you wanted a nice dinner from McDonald's, this is what you guys had to do. You usually would get a meal. You can have fries if you want to, but normally you split a large fries with the whole family. But what you would get 2 cheeseburgers per person. All right, so a cheeseburger, but on the cheeseburger you would get extra onions, extra mustard, extra ketchup, and extra pickles. You don't get extra cheese because extra cheese costs more. But if you get that all in a hamburger, it was very filling if you had 2 of them. I mean, very filling. Nowadays, I don't even know how much a cheeseburger costs. It's not a dollar anymore over here. We don't even have a dollar menu at our McDonald's anymore. But then it was really cheap. Even now today, guys, I'm just like, I don't know if I want to pay that much for it. Or I went to Taco Bell with a few friends like 2 weekends ago in Seattle, and they have I saw the commercials like a $5 box, and I was like, oh, okay, $5. Over here, where we were going in downtown Seattle, so it was gonna be more expensive anyway. It was $9. $9 for the same box that I saw on TV for $5. So I was like, damn, this is Taco Bell, right? I'm not eating out at a restaurant. And so that's what I'm always looking for there. I'm just like, yeah, I get picky with it. But some things are better than others. Loki wants to say hello. Yeah. Yep. 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 Well, don't snort in my face. Yeah. You look at the people? He's growing his big boy teeth in here too, so he's been having a lot of fun with it. Yep. Want to shave people your teeth? I don't know. I don't want to hurt them. So nope. You fall into scratch me with his long nails. Good boy. Loki says hello, everybody. Loki says hello. Elon buys and tweets and dumps. Yeah, I mean, there are algorithms set up so when Elon tweets about Dogecoin, they just buy and they sell like a few seconds later because it's an easy profit. There are algorithms set up for a whole bunch of weird stuff. Yeah, 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 yeah. He wants to go play. Hey, Loki. Yeah, I know, right? Here. Yeah. He's part of the show. He's he got sharp teeth all of a sudden though, so now he just loves to nibble. Yep. 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 He's trying to think if he should jump up or not. There we go. And hey, Morgoth. Hey, thanks for the super chat. I appreciate it. He's having a fun day. I've been ignoring him a little bit though. He was really mad at me today. So you guys know I tried to hire an editor this weekend, but he failed on the first day of the job, so I had to fire him. Well, I still made the video this morning, but it just took a long time. So Loki wasn't happy about that because usually every morning we go out in the backyard and we play for like an hour. So I get some fresh air. I do some yoga outside if I can. Ow, dude, you long nails. I need to trim them. I only do like one nail a day because he just hates getting his nails trimmed. I just bought a grinder on Amazon. I hope that's gonna work a little bit better. But he just definitely wants to go outside and play. No, yeah, I don't have his treats though. His treats are on the subwoofer of all things. Oh, you guys can see him like that little bag that's kind of there. Yeah. He's having a good time though. Thank you, Morgoth, a lot. And hey, Bradford, Loki loves his daddy. Yeah, he does. What do you call it? I gave him all this good food. He had a couple pieces of kielbasa today, and then I'm starting to defrost the last bit of my venison. So I gave him some venison, and he was loving it. And he just got his dog food today too. He gets a whole bunch of stuff today. Yep. Making me burp, dude. Right now I'm just patting on his head, and he's just smiling like a little yay. Yep. Yep. Now he's just sitting and kind of waiting. He's like, Dad, let's go play. He kind of has it timed to when I normally end the stream, so he's like, let's go. Best boy, he is a very good boy. Yep. He's just waiting right now. He wants something, but I don't have anything for him to eat. All the treats are away. We'll get you a treat in a little bit. Okay. Yeah. But basically, guys, to wrap everything up here, I do want to go back to that first chart that I showed you guys off with, say, that big chart. So if you guys, I'll make a video specifically about this chart sometime this week. But as far as how bad Bitcoin can get, or where we're looking at, and where this support level, like why are we here? Why are we stopping here of all places? Nobody has actually talked about this at all, as far as I've seen on YouTube. They've kind of turned it. They've made a whole bunch of random lines on charts that don't make sense, and you guys have seen me make fun of those people on Twitter. But the thing you guys have to understand here, this is the weekly chart. Let's go back to the daily chart here. We're holding the 2-to-1 Gann level from freaking 2015 of all things. And I think that's why nobody's looking at this. It's because we rarely come into contact with it. The last time we came into contact with this exact line right here, this blue line, was during COVID. And we held it during COVID. We held it. Even as when everything was taking, this was our support level. We came down below it, but by the end of it, we still stayed and we were still holding support, okay? So this is going to be crucial for everybody going forward. And if we do break down below this 2-to-1 Gann level, guys, we'll most likely be heading down to at least $23,000. It won't be an immediate downward move, but I can definitely see us taking like a 1 to 2 weeks, and by then we're down at $23,000. So just be aware of that, guys. Things are looking kind of crazy right now. Or over the past few months, we may be consolidating just a little bit longer before taking another big dip down. On the other side, though, if we can bounce off of this and get it back above the 20-day moving average, maybe, just maybe, we have an opportunity to go back up towards $32,000, $33,000, and then we get rejected maybe by the 50-day moving average going forward, okay? But, we'll talk about that more and more as it happens, but it seems like we're going to have to make a choice here into the title of, the squeeze that we're going to see. The 2-to-1 versus the 20-day moving average, we only have a few more days before we come into contact with it, and rarely do we ever wait to the last minute, guys. Whatever mover is coming, it should be coming pretty fast. Hopefully the NASDAQ can go up and up and up, and that may help us out. But remember, the NASDAQ went up today and Bitcoin went down. So keep that in mind. But okay, buddy, have a great rest of your day. I'm going to go take a lookie outside. He wants to go play. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks again. And remember, tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific.